Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. You're watching Karkid, and today we're back in the Greenville revamp with another update, which added 15 new cars, 47 individual trims. Hunty's Pizza Place now has a new snow stage and theme and songs. There's a new sheriff station and OSCO sheriff department. There's also a new strip mall, which is right next to the sheriff station, and every house does now have Christmas decor on it. So, right now I'm in front of the sheriff station. We're gonna take a look at this after, but let's take a look at the 15 new cars that were added. So unfortunately, I can't actually afford all of them, but I'm gonna read the list off to you guys. You have the 2001 Falcon Prime Eques P71 Sheriff, the 2002 Chevlon Antelope Sheriff, the 2007 Panini Ostro, which is a car I'm unfortunately not going to be able to review at all since that thing is 2.3 million and I don't have that much money. There's the 2012 Falcon Aquarius, the 2013 Chevlon Antelope Sheriff, the 2013 Wolfsburg Pitch, the 2015 Falcon Aquarius, the 2015 Falcon Aquarius Interceptor Sedan Sheriff, the 2015 Falcon Aquarius Interceptor Sedan WSP, the 2015 Falcon Aquarius Interceptor Security, the 2015 Silhouette Carbon, the 2019 Falcon Scavenger Sheriff, the 2019 Falcon Scavenger WSP, the 2019 Silhouette Carbon, the 2020 Falcon Hertiage, the 2020 Falcon Scavenger WSP, the 2020 Falcon Scavenger WSP, and the 2020 Takeo Asume. I'm not sure if you guys heard all of that, but let's get into the cars. So the first car on the list is the 2020 Takeo Asume, and the way I have this thing built is in trim A-Spec in the color Performance Red and with the Shark Gray rims. So hopping into this thing, let's take a look at your lighting. You have brake lights, turn signals, reverse lights, running lights, headlights, turn signals in the front, and you do have mirror turn signals. Along with that, when you now drive on the snow, your tires do turn white, and then after a while, they do go back to normal black, and then when you drive back on the snow, they turn back to white, which I think is pretty cool. Top speed on this thing is going to be 137 miles per hour, or 222 kilometers per hour with 10 gears, and we're gonna go back this way. Honestly, I kind of like the way this thing looks, and this car resembles the 2020 Acura RDX. Obviously, I'm not going to be able to name every single car in the update which cars they resemble from fictionalized names, but I will be able to do some of them. Your braking isn't too bad. Next on the list is the 2020 Falcon Scavenger WSP, which now has a new trim, the WSP Slick Top Alternative. So the way I have this thing built is in the trim WSP Slick Top Alternative in the color WSP and with the default rims, which now added this new wraparound front push bar bumper. So let's take a look at your lighting. Up brake lights, turn signals, reverse lights, running lights, headlights, turn signals in the front, which are kind of covered by the barrier, and you also have mirror turn signals. There is your spotlight, and then here is your police lights, along with your 3 sirens. And your horn. So I did forget to mention the horn in the other car, but that's okay. I'll probably go back and do that after. So I believe they did have this thing in the game before, but now they added this push bar, wraparound push bar in the front, which I do think looks pretty good. Your top speed is 145 with 10 gears, and we just spun out very much there. As you can see, the tires are white, and then once we start driving for a little bit, will turn back to black. Obviously, I can't drive today, but I did also forget to mention that you can now change your braking mode. If you press on this little wrench here and go to braking mode, you can put it on smooth, which takes much longer to slow down, or you can put it on instant. When we get up to the top speed here, you're going to see that the braking is much faster and it makes skid marks. Like with smooth, it doesn't make any skid marks, as you could see. Well, that time it didn't make any skid marks, but usually it does. Our next car is the 2020 Falcon Scavenger Sheriff, and the way I have this thing built in the trim Greenville in the color Sheriff and with the default rims. So this is part of the new OSCO department, or the Sheriff Department of Greenville now, and let's take a look at your lighting. It's the same as the other car, but you got headlights, turn signals, brake lights, running lights, turn signals in the back, reverse lights, and your horn. Along with that, you also have your spotlight and your sheriff police lighting. So the horn on this thing and the sirens are actually different, as you can tell. Your sirens, you have 1, 2, and 3. I do like these sheriff sirens better. I just feel like they're more realistic towards the real sheriff cars. Top speed is 145 miles per hour, 233 kilometers per hour, with a 10-speed transmission and braking. Braking isn't terrible. Next on the list is this thing, the 2020 Falcon Hertiage. I'm gonna say Heritage, it looks like Hertiage or something. And the way I have this thing built in the trim Carbonio in the color Mystic Chrome and with the carbon 10-spoke rims. So what I like about this thing is how the entire thing is carbon fiber, except for the stripe going down the front of the car. So let's take a look at your lighting. You have brake lights, turn signals, reverse lights at the bottom there, running lights, headlights, turn signals in the front, and when you rev it, you shoot those massive flames, and your horn, I believe it's the same as both of the other cars. Now this thing, in real life, is meant to resemble the 2020 Ford GT, and I can already tell I am not going to be able to control this. Like I said, the entire thing is made of carbon fiber except for that stripe going down the entire car. Top speed 225 miles per hour or 363 kilometers per hour, and your braking is pretty bad like the other supercars, but it's totally worth it. So next on the list is the 2019 Silhouette Carbon, or the 2019 Lamborghini Aventador, and the way I have this thing built is in the trim SP774 Super Speed and the color Verde Mantis Pearl and with the Super Speed black rims. And this thing looks absolutely incredible. Hopping into this thing, you have a ridiculous startup sound, and when you rev it, you shoot those massive flames. This thing just sounds amazing. Let's take a look at your lighting though. You have brake lights, reverse lights, turn signals in the front, headlights, and running lights. Now, I'm not even ready for the top speed on this thing because just from looking at it, I can already tell it is going to be insane. Top speed on this thing is over 200 miles per hour. Holy moly! Top speed on this thing is 234 miles per hour or 383 kilometers per hour. And braking? Yeah, braking takes quite a while to stop, but this thing looks absolutely insane, and it sounds absolutely insane, and that top speed is absolutely insane. And next on the list is the 2015 Silhouette Carbon. This one is 2015, the other one was 2019. And the way I have this thing built is in the trim SP704 in the color Orancio Argos Pearl and with the base silver rims. Hopping into this thing, you have the same ridiculous, insane startup sound, and let's take a look at your lighting. You have brake lights, turn signals, reverse lights, running lights, headlights, turn signals in the front, and I forgot to mention the horn on the other one, but here is the horn across the line. I do also like the fact that you have active arrow on the back of this thing. I think that is an amazing touch. Top speed on this thing, 211 miles per hour or 330. Top speed is actually 214 miles per hour or 346 kilometers per hour, and braking. Same deal with the braking. It takes forever to stop, but it's totally worth it to take a view at this thing. Like I said, I will go back to all of the new updated places and go over them. Our next car on the list is the 2015 Falcon Aquarius Security, and we have this thing built in the trim Security, and the color Security, and with the default rims. So, your lighting of brake lights, turn signals, reverse lights, headlights, running lights, your lighting, your spotlight, and your horn. The horn is a little bit, it's a little bit, it's not really fitting to this, Ford Taurus security car. I think they could have used it better, but it's okay. Top speed, 132 miles per hour or 213 kilometers per hour with a 6-speed transmission and braking. I'm not sure if I mentioned headlights yet, but this is what your headlights look like and your turn signals in the front. Our next car on the list is the 2015 Falcon Aquarius Interceptor Sedan WSP, and then we have this thing built in the trim WSP and the color WSP and with the default rims. So this thing has the same lighting as before: brake lights, turn signals, reverse lights, headlights, turn signals, running lights, and your horn. I do like everything about the sheriff's car better, but you also have your spotlight, and then your 3 sirens, and your police lighting. I do like the new sheriff cars better though. I just feel like the sirens are more realistic to real life, and overall I just like the styling and everything better on the new sheriff cars. So this thing's top speed is 142 miles per hour or 229 kilometers per hour with the same 6-speed transmission, and braking isn't too bad. Next car is the 2015 Falcon Aquarius Interceptor Sedan Sheriff, and we have this thing built in the trim Greenville and the color Sheriff and with the default rims. So this thing, we're stuck. This thing does have the same lighting as the other 2 cars, obviously, except for the sheriff lighting. So here's your police lighting and your sirens. And your horn. Along with your spotlight. Let's see if this thing has any different of a top speed from the other cars. The other 3 or 4 Ford Tauruses. Like I said, I do like these new sheriff cars better. I just feel like everything about them is better. The sirens, the look, the horns, everything. Top speed 132 miles per hour, 213 kilometers per hour with the same 6-speed transmission, and your braking. Braking isn't terrible. Next car on the list is the 2015 Falcon Aquarius in the trim SHO or show in the color Oxford White and with the SHO rims. Take a look at your lighting of brake lights, turn signals, reverse lights, horn, headlights, running lights, and turn signals in the front. So this thing is actually the more performance-based model of the typical Ford Taurus. There are other Ford Taurus trims in the game, but this thing's more of the performance-based one. Top speed is going to be 133 miles per hour or 215 kilometers per hour with the same 6-speed gearbox, and your braking. Braking isn't terrible. Our next car on the list is the 2013 Wolfsburg Pitch in the trim R in the color black and with the R wheels or rims. Take a look at your lighting of brake lights, turn signals in the front, headlights, running lights. Well, I was gonna say I do like how your fog lights turn on at the bottom here, but they're always on. Your running lights and your horn. Wow, this horn does not fit this car, I will say. I kind of feel like the other horn that I said I didn't like on the other car fits it better, and this one could go on the other car, but yeah, I don't think this horn fits the car. Top speed is going to be 155 miles per hour, 250 kilometers per hour, with another 6-speed transmission, and your braking. Braking isn't terrible. Our next car is the 2013 Chevlon Antelope Sheriff. And what I like about this is that it has the older Sheriff styling, even though we've never had the Sheriff, Sheriffs in Greenville before. But, the way I have this thing built is the Sheriff old trim in the color Sheriff and with the default rims. So let's take a look. You're lighting up brake lights, turn signals, reverse lights, running lights, headlights, turn signals, and your lighting. Along with that, you also have your spotlight here, along with your 3 sirens, and your horn. I do like how on these older cars, these sirens are different, more of like an older siren compared to the 2020 Sheriff cars. I do like that he kind of incorporated different, made it more realistic, I will say. 114 miles per hour is the top speed, or 184 kilometers per hour, with the same 6-speed transmission, and your braking. Braking isn't too bad. Honestly, I will say this thing has probably made the most skid marks so far. Next on the list is the 2012 Falcon Aquarius in the trim base in the color sterling gray metallic, and with the base rims. I thought I was on the wrong car for a second. And what I do like about this thing is how it has the older lighting, same on the older Ford Taurus. So brake lights, turn signals, reverse lights, headlights, running lights, turn signals in the front, and your horn. Now this horn, I think, fits the other Volkswagen we were just in 2 cars ago. I think this horn would fit that Volkswagen better, and the Volkswagen horn would fit this thing better. But it's okay either way. Top speed on this thing is going to be 125 miles per hour, or 202 kilometers per hour, and with the same 6-speed transmission. I guess everyone really likes the 6-speed transmissions. And your braking isn't terrible. Next on the list is the 2002 Chevlon Antelope Sheriff, and the way I have this thing built is in the trim Sheriff, in the color Sheriff, and with the default rims. So hopping into this thing, you have brake lights, turn signals, reverse lights, headlights, running lights, and turn signals in the front, along with your spotlight and your police lighting and your different sirens and horns. Holy moly. We just made some nice skid marks there. Let's see what the top speed on this thing is going to be, though. Top speed on this thing is going to be 129 miles per hour, or 208 kilometers per hour, with a 4-speed transmission this time instead of a 6-speed. Guess they kind of got tired of the 6-speed there. And braking. Jeez! This thing definitely made the most skid marks so far, but braking isn't too bad. It's just pretty loud. Our final car is the 2001 Falcon Prime Eques P71 Sheriff in the trim K9, in the color Sheriff, and with the default rims. As you can see, when you get the K9 unit, you get this nice K9 unit lettering on the side. But let's take a look at your lighting. You have brake lights, turn signals. Turn signals aren't really too visible, but I guess it's okay. reverse lights, running lights, turn signals in the front, headlights, and you do have your spotlight along with your police lights and your 3 different sirens. And your horn. So let's get to the top speed on this thing, see how fast we can get it to go. So far pretty slow. And 100, so it does go over 100, but this thing goes 100, holy moly, jeez, 150 miles per hour, or 242 kilometers per hour with a 4-speed transmission. Wow. Braking. And I think this thing now makes the most skid marks. But yeah. With that said, I hope you guys enjoyed all of the cars. Now we're gonna check out the updated features around the map. So now it's time to look at everything else that has been added to the map except for the cars. So the first place we're gonna head to is to Hunty's, right over here, to take a look at the new stage. I'm not gonna play you guys like an entire song like I did last time, and I still can't drive. I haven't actually said that too much in the video, but as you can see, the entire thing is snow and stuff like that. I don't want to get too close because it is pretty loud, but yeah, that's the new Hunty stage. I also don't want to get copyrighted, even though I know it's not copyright music, but we're not going to stay in there for too long. Now let's head over to the sheriff station. So to get to the sheriff station, I've seen that a lot of people have forgotten to mention how to get over there. So you're gonna drive down the road just past Best Buy, and you're gonna take a left at the traffic light right after Best Buy. So right here. Take a left here, go down this road until you see like 2 big buildings. That's gonna be the new strip mall and the sheriff station. There is, of course, a job for the sheriff station. It's the Outagamie County Sheriff's Office. So I guess that's like the county of Greenville. It's like the town of Greenville, and then it's the county Outagamie or something. Outagamie. But I'm gonna choose that job right there, the Outagamie County Sheriff's Office. And you can see the new sheriff uniform compared to the WSP uniform. I think it looks pretty good. You do have some garage doors over here, and when you walk in, you see this new serving with pride sign. And over here, click on the doors, and you have a bunch of desks and offices with like 5 different monitors or something where these sheriffs work. If you're not out on duty patrolling or something like that. Coming into these rooms, this room looks like an office. Oh, that might be this. This might be these holding cells, I believe, because I'm not sure if they're allowed to keep prisoners here, but I believe those are the holding cells. And then these are just other offices that someone may want you to speak in. And then over here you have your briefing room or training room, something over there. And then on this side you have the entrance. This is where you walk in from either side here, and then you walk to the left here to talk with the person at the main desk. So that's a quick tour of the entire sheriff's office. We're gonna go back to our police car, and then we can look at the new updated Christmas decorations on the houses. So let's get out of here, and we'll just spawn a car in right here. Let's get so you can't spawn cars inside the garage because they'll just spawn on the roof. But let's spawn in the Ford GT here. And head over to the strip mall first. We're gonna do the strip mall first, and then we will do everything else. So I believe this is the same strip mall that's actually in Greenville in real life. I'm not sure where Greenville actually is in real life. It might be in Wisconsin. I don't know. But as you can see, it's a pretty big strip mall. There's nothing inside, really. You also have a playground over there. So there's nothing really much to look at except for the fact that it looks pretty awesome, and you do have a little playground over there. But there are no stores. I wouldn't really be expecting any stores soon, though there could be stores. I'm not really too sure. Now, finally, let's head over to a house so we can take a look at the new decorations. We'll just go to the house over here. That's pretty good. Pretty good parking. And as you can see, when you claim the house, the entire roof turns white like snow. And then you have lighting all across the roof, the outline of the roof, around the entire house, including the back. And you also have some lighting on the bushes. You have a wreath on the door, and every single house has this Christmas tree inside the house. Honestly, I think this is a really nice touch for Christmas, all of these decorations, just like Halloween, but you cannot see these decorations unless you claim the house. With that said though, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. This one is a bit of a longer video, but it was because there was more to cover in this update. So if you guys like these longer videos, let me know. I don't really like making videos that are too long, but if you guys want me to start making a bit longer videos, let me know in the comments. Go join the Discord server, MC Karkid fan server, link will be in the description. Go check out my other channel, Unbox Central, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.